Mike Tyson, rise of a monster, fall of man, he was the most feared man on the planet. At just 20 years old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in history. He didn't just beat opponents, he crushed them. But the same rage that made him a champion also tore his life apart. Fame, fortune, power, and then scandal, prison, and shame. This is the rise and fall of Mike Tyson, and the scandal that almost ended it all. Mike Tyson's childhood was brutal. He grew up in poverty, surrounded by violence. By age 13, he had already been arrested dozens of times. But one thing saved him: boxing. He was discovered by legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, who saw potential in the angry, wild kid from Brooklyn. Cus became a father figure. He trained Mike to control his rage and turn it into power. By 1986, at only 20 years old, Tyson became the undisputed heavyweight champion. Nobody had seen power like his. His fights rarely went past the first round. Opponents were terrified. The public was fascinated. Tyson was a sensation, a dangerous mix of talent and intimidation. He earned millions, bought mansions, cars, tigers, even married actress Robin Williams. But behind the fame, his life was spiraling. Tyson's marriage became a media circus. Reports of violence, drug use, and mental breakdowns started to spread. Robin Givens went on national TV and described living with him as torture. Their marriage collapsed. His mentor Cus had died years earlier, and Tyson was surrounded by people who used him. No real friends, no real control. Then came the scandal that changed everything. In 1992, Mike Tyson was convicted of raping 18-year-old Desiree Washington, a beauty pageant contestant. Tyson claimed it was consensual. The jury didn't believe him. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison and served 3. For many, this was the end of his story. The terrifying champion had become a convicted felon. Sponsors dropped him. The media turned on him. The public divided. Some believed he was innocent. Others saw him as a monster. Either way, the myth of Mike Tyson was shattered. When he got out, he wasn't the same fighter. He came back to the ring, still powerful, still dangerous, but something was missing. He won a few fights, but then came the infamous night in 1997. The night he bit off part of Evander Holyfield's ear. The world watched in shock. Tyson was disqualified, fined millions, and banned from boxing for a time. That moment, that one bite, became a symbol of how far he had fallen. After that, Tyson's career slowly faded. He fought a few more times, but the fear was gone. His body couldn't keep up. He filed for bankruptcy in 2003, claiming he was over $20 million in debt. The man who once made $300 million was now broke. He had no title, no money, and no real future in boxing. But then, something unexpected happened. Tyson started to change. He began speaking openly about his past, his pain, and his mistakes. He talked about addiction, mental health, and regret. He got clean. He became a family man. He started showing up in movies, doing interviews, even performing a one-man show about his life. The same public that once feared him started to listen and slowly forgive. In 2020, at 54 years old, Tyson stepped back into the ring for an exhibition match. Not for revenge, not for a title, just to prove that he still had something left. And he did. He moved differently, more in control. This wasn't the old Iron Mike. This was a wiser, older version, one who had been through hell and lived to tell the story. Today, Mike Tyson is no longer seen just as a fighter. He's a survivor. He owns a cannabis business, hosts a podcast, and speaks to audiences about discipline, anger, and redemption. His legacy is complicated. He was a monster in the ring. He committed a terrible crime. He made mistakes most people couldn't recover from. But somehow, he found a way to keep going. The story of Mike Tyson isn't about boxing. It's about what happens when a man with nothing gets everything and then loses it all. It's about how violence, fame, and trauma can destroy a person from the inside out. But it's also about growth, accountability, and the long, painful road to becoming more than just a headline. He will never be perfect. He doesn't pretend to be. But maybe that's why people still care about Mike Tyson. Because in all his darkness, there's something real, something human. And maybe that's what makes his story worth telling.